Greetings again, my dear friends. I am Adamu of the monadic entity of the Pleiadian civilization, and I am coming to you once again through my dear friend and scribe Zingdad. So this transmission is an extremely exciting one for me personally, and I do believe if you're able to understand, if you're able to let in what I'm sharing with you, you will find it extremely exciting too. As we proceed upon the timeline that you are on, so certain possibilities open up. Collectively, many of you are making magnificent choices. Most of you, in one way or another, are raising the frequency of your consciousness. It might not be apparent to you that this is what you are doing, but a great percentage, the vast majority of planet Earth's humanity is raising the frequency of their consciousness, becoming more self-responsible, becoming more aware of the action of the divine, becoming more connected to their own truth. People are finding their backbones, finding their voices, standing up, speaking their truth, speaking out against iniquity, pushing back against the dark elite's drive towards totalitarianism, pushing back against the complacent and complicit and compliant who are the enablers of the dark elite's dark plans. People are standing up, speaking up, and pushing back. And so as a result, there are also those who are moving into unity consciousness, higher frequencies of consciousness, awareness that all of humanity is one, that you are all connected, that you are connected not just with each other, but with the nature, with the planet, with the galaxy, with the universe. There is a rise in spirituality. People are letting go of dogmas. There's a grand awakening sweeping the planet. As a result, people are becoming aware of their own creator nature and starting to dance and play. Miracles and wonder that were previously unattainable are now happening. Small miracles that people are noticing in their lives. One might say the angels are bending nearer to the earth and blending with your energies. This is true. And so a little doorway begins to open. And that doorway takes form in the run-up to the event. Now, you've heard me and many other voices speaking about the event. So I'll very briefly catch you up on what that is. It's a moment in time when everything changes. It is a singularity event. It's a moment where beings who exist at different frequencies will all go off on their own timeline. So it's a coming together and then a fracturing of timelines. That means you will no longer have to carry with you in the collective unconscious that operates on your mind, in your consensus reality. You will no longer have to carry with you beings who operate at a very much lower frequency. You will be freed of their creations. So there's more to be said about this, about the event, about the run-up to the event, but I don't wish to become bogged down in those details. I wish to get to the very point, which is this. A certain kind of an awakening will sweep the earth at the event. A moment of transcendent awareness, a moment of realization. Your mind will become connected to the collective mind. And in that moment, it will be possible for you to see what occurs at higher frequencies of consciousness, frequencies that are now blanketed from your view. It will be possible for you to see spaceships in your skies. And there is one very exciting possibility that also opens up. It will be possible for you to produce, to manufacture your own lightships. So, what is a lightship? A lightship is not a spaceship. A spaceship is a technological object. It's produced out of advanced technological materials, a variety of metals and that sort of thing. You make a spaceship in a factory, and it needs advanced drives, engines to make it move through space. That's a spaceship. Has its purpose, very useful. And then you have a lightship. A lightship is an energetic object, one might say a spiritual object, and it's produced by highly conscious beings operating according to certain well-understood principles. So in the main, it takes a team of 12 to hold an external patterning, and then it takes an additional 2 to sit in the middle of that patterning and act as the seed and the catalyst to the lightship. It also takes a planetary consciousness that is ready, that is seeded, that is available, because a lightship is what we call a 7th density structure, 7th density of consciousness, creator consciousness structure. So I will be partnering with Zingdad to create a series of events. These events will be the seeding in your collective consciousness of the possibility, so that when the collective consciousness is ready, when everything else that needs to be in place is in place, when events have transpired and we are at that moment of the event, then your event could be that you live in a world on the timeline where the lightships that have been seeded take form. When lightships take form, you may enter a lightship. There's a particular mechanism, a particular preparation that you need to go through. If your soul is not sparked, then you will not have a sufficient soul container to enter into a lightship. Then you will not be accepted into the lightship. You will simply walk through what appears like a bubble of very bright light. You'll simply walk through it. It won't accept you in. And if it did accept you in, that might very well end your journey through existence, because you don't have sufficient container to survive the lightship experience. If you have been prepared, and that's partly your journey through time, your soul's journey, but also through particular mechanisms which are taught at lightship events. If you have been prepared, then you can walk into the lightship and you find yourself arriving within a singularity within a singularity. You find yourself arriving in the heart of oneness, where your form, your physical body, is instantaneously transformed into light and pattern. Patterning in consciousness and pure light, energy. And that light and energy, because it is light, can move at the speed of light, which is to say, from the relative perspective of the being going into the lightship, instantaneously. You can move instantaneously across space and time to anywhere else in this galaxy and beyond where a lightship has been created. Now, if you're following what I'm saying, that means you will be able to move instantaneously to anywhere in the galaxy where similar preparation has been done. And let me tell you, that's a great many places in the galaxy, a great many beautiful, magnificent, wondrous places where beings of very high frequency would be very happy to greet you, to see you exiting. One might say you translate from here to there instantaneously, but your experience is that you have an eternal moment so that you can take as long as you need to take to very carefully rework the patterning. So I've said your body is transformed into energy and light and patterning. So the energy and light moves instantaneously, and you can take your time to craft the patterning so that when you step out on the other side, there is a body that is reformed according to a very intelligent co-creation between you and all of life, so that you have the perfect body on that side for that experience. If you were to decide to visit the Pleiades, you would have a body that would be perfectly formed. It would be your body, but with a certain Pleiadian twist, so that you would have the body that is perfect for stepping out into the Pleiades. And you can spend the equivalent of 10 years in the Pleiades. Spend as long as you want to really feel Pleiadian culture, to really imbibe the essence of Pleiadian culture. And then step into a lightship on that side and have an instantaneous moment of transmission back to Earth, where you might decide that you're going to step out on planet Earth in your same body, but just perhaps marked by some subtle changes to note that you have spent time amongst the Pleiadians. And then you step out of the lightship 10 seconds later than what you left, because space and time is entirely malleable. Space and time do no longer constrain you or control you, as they do if you travel in a spaceship, which remains within the arc of space and time. If you travel with a spaceship, it might take you some period of time, some months, some years, to get from here to there. And if you spend a decade there and you take a few years to come back, all of that time will have passed when you step out on this side. So you understand why lightships are of such interest to us, why we love their use so much. They're not perfect for all purposes. Lightships cannot be used to enforce a quarantine around a planet that needs to be contained. Lightships have no, one might say, military use whatsoever. And it's very difficult to move vast quantities of substances. If you wanted to move metals or ores or such vast objects, you can't pass them really through a lightship. But human beings such as yourself, sufficiently prepared, sufficiently readied, can. So, my friends, here is the exciting news. We are beginning to do this. We are beginning with a very small event here in South Africa, which will take place between the 8th and the 16th of November this year, 2024. That will be the first event. We want to keep it small. We're doing something that is in this cycle of time that has definitely never been done on planet Earth. And we need to be able to work very carefully with the participants. So we are limiting the participants. Our ideal number is 12 participants, just 12, to come to South Africa and to plant the first seed of consciousness. The Lightship creation experience is an experience with many moving parts. One needs to create a sense of belonging, of community, of real loving holding amongst all of the participants. So mechanisms to do that will be put in place. One needs to prepare the energy body. So that will be put in place. And then there is the actual energy working, which in principle is not such a very difficult thing. If everybody is ready and prepared, then the energy working can also be taught and can also happen. We don't anticipate, allow me to be clear, we don't anticipate that the first attempt is going to result in a lightship. There are other moving parts, I've already mentioned that. The planetary consciousness needs to be ready, it needs to be time. Everything else that needs to play out needs to have played out. But for all that, those that attend this first event, it is anticipated that they will have a truly wondrous experience. So, if your heart is being spoken to, if you're feeling yourself called, connect with us through Zingdad, and hopefully we will see you at a Lightship creation event sometime soon. Until then, I love you all with the heart of oneness. I am Adamu of the monadic entity of the Pleiadian civilization, and I've been coming to you as always through my dear friend and scribe, Zingdad. Until next time, goodbye.